Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another review. Today on the table, we will be going to the Eaglemoss Hero Collector Star Trek Online Collection, U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701 Refit. So, real quick, again, as I've said in my other Eaglemoss videos, Eaglemoss is currently in the domestic, and by domestic, I mean United States equivalent of bankruptcy, so they are not currently making any new models. So this was a previous model they have made that I bought about a year ago or so off of their Star Trek Online collection. It's a collection that they got about, I think, 10 or so ships into, and I guess they just found out they weren't making the profits they thought, and I think they canned the collection. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I just remember prior to them shutting down, they did put an end to this collection, so I think they only got about 10 ships in, but this ship was one of them. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to take a good look at the model. And yes, we're actually going to take a good look at the box this time around, because of course the Star Trek Online collection, they started coming in different boxes, and they started putting the magazines inside the boxes. So a little bit different packaging, so we actually can check it out versus other Eagle ship models of this size. So let's get right into it. So we're going to move the Starship model off the table for a few seconds to get a good look at the packaging. And here we go, Star Trek Online NCC-1701. Got the nice bubble where the stand and the ship would be. And then, of course, you got some nice, I believe this is an Andromeda class starship, one of the ships that was in the collection. Then a nice orthographic up top view of the U.S.S. Enterprise F NCC-1701 Refit. And then, of course, you got more on the side, more of the online ships in the collection. I believe it's the Pathfinder class, and the NCC-1701 Refit again, Hero Collector, Eaglemoss. And moving on the back, you have the Pathfinder, the Moog, the Jem'Hadar Vanguard ship, just a lot of cool ships. I've never actually played Star Trek Online. I only know a little bit of the lore behind it. I've always wanted to, but just never had a computer able to undertake that kind of whatever they have. And then you got some nice orthographic views of the ship on the side, and then of course Star Trek Online U.S.S. Enterprise. And if I recall, I can't remember if when you bought these, you could like get something special online or in the game or something like that. So I do forget. I think it's in the magazine. We'll take a look at that very shortly. And moving on to the magazine, here it is. So again, Star Trek Online, U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-F Refit, active 25th century, length 1,041 meters. That is super huge. Yeah, I think this ship is like super long. It's like, I guess, a combination of the Galaxy class with the battle sturdiness of the U.S.S. Enterprise E. Looking on the back, got a nice orthographic overview of the Enterprise F Refit model, Star Trek Online. There's a nice UPC code, and then here we go. Here's the magazine. Here we have all these nice orthograph views, instructions how to fit the ship onto the stand, and then of course a nice view of the ship. Beautiful animation in here, and right down here we have the more text going into, and then we see more views of the Enterprise F. Absolutely beautiful starship. I personally love the F. I know it's kind of got a love-hate relationship with a lot of people. I think it's awesome, and I hope that it does indeed become canon in Picard Season 3, because it certainly deserves it. More orthographic views of the ship, blah, 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 blah. And then at the top there, NCC-1701 Refit, and you kind of get a view of several other ships. This is kind of, I guess, the design ideation phase right here. That is pretty cool. And of course we have the Enterprise F right here, and more of the Enterprise F. There's Captain Vakel shown. We'll see if he becomes the canon captain in Picard coming up, assuming the ship we see is the Enterprise F. And then, of course, at the top and right here, more views. I guess they don't show a view. For those that don't know, I believe the reason the Enterprise F was refit, I believe it's called the Yorktown refit in the game, and I believe the reason it was refit, feel free to correct me in the comments, by the way, Eaglemossers or Star Trekkers, it was heavily damaged in a battle with the Iconians, which I believe you hear a bit about in Deep Space Nine, and therefore it was refit into the ship that it is now. But again, feel free to correct me. So let's get into the stand. And for the stand, it is typical Eaglemoss. Got your base. Let me turn some light and get some light on the subject. Ooh, there we go. Got your little base with the peg. You got your stand for the model with the nice little slits, and you just put the peg into the base just like that. And yeah, this is actually pretty never mind. I take that back. So again, as long as you don't touch it, you'll be good. It's overall, it's a good stand. I've had the ship on display for about a year and haven't had any issues with it. So there you go, right there. And without further ado, let's take a look at the U.S.S. Enterprise F. And yeah, so straight away, again, I've always been a fan of this ship, but this model is just gorgeous. I love the use of colors. I mean, it's too bad this model is so small, because the colors are just so vibrant, very vibrant for a Federation ship. Now I get that this is the look of the ship in the game. I personally love the game's Art Deco with the blacks and the whites and the blues incorporated, and I really get a kick out of that. Got that nice text, U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-F. And one of the things about the refit model, on the previous model, and which we'll see during the comparison, some of the black that comes, this used to be black, and black coming around the bridge area here was shifted over a bit. They fixed that, so everything is nice and centered now, and it looks absolutely spectacular. And I actually like the original, the previous model. Again, you got the nice nacelles, kind of doing that swing in the back, and you got these nice panels right here. Texture is okay. It's not, I mean, obviously it's not as there's not as many divots in the mold as there is in the XL models, but again, you feel the detail here. Again, lots of nice lighting, kind of jumbled up there, but so small, hard to notice. And yeah, you can see we got the typical window misalignment from Eaglemoss, but that, again, you know, that doesn't bug me too much. And then in nice small text, NCC-1701-F. And then, can we see it? It's super small, but yeah, that looks like an NCC-1701-F. Nacelles, no transparent plastic. Got some nice red for the Bassard collectors, and the blue. You can see we got the fins back here. My model does have a bit of a wobble back here. It's got like kind of an alignment issue. It doesn't quite go in fully. Not bugged about that. Yeah, well, I am bugged about that, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, not like I could write Eaglemoss and say, hey, replace my model, because they will not be able to respond. And I'm not sure if they have any of this left. Whoa, don't drop it. It looks like we got some die cast somewhere in the lower bottom here, because I feel a heavy, colder feel. Not sure if it's in the saucer. And again, I love the way the deflector is decorated. You see this eggshell blue and this nice gold. You got nice detail, the black around here, and you got what looks like a window. I don't know too much of the deck plans for this ship. Again, I haven't played the game and I haven't looked too much into it. Hopefully get something fleshed out in Picard. And then of course the impulse engines done in a very nice red paint. Just really beautiful. I love the use of colors in this ship. You could tell that it is clearly a distinct Federation ship, even in the paint palette. But it's just kind of this more hardcore type. It's got this more hardcore type feel to it. I really do love how the colors just shine right here. And then of course you got some detailing back here, and I believe that this is a Dragonfly class ship. Correct me if I'm wrong, Star Trek Onliners, because this is your arena, not mine. There is a smaller like ship, very equivalent to the Defiant class, that sits in the back here. And then of course we have our shuttle bay, and I can't feel if this is textured or not, but it does look like it is. You can actually see like there is a kind of a bay door. Nacelle alignment looks spot on. We got that nice gap. It's because it's got the double neck going in there. I personally like that. I know not a lot do, but whatever. So nacelle alignment looks pretty good from either side. Yeah, I can't see anything on this side, and this is always the hard angle to hold it at. So, and yeah, that looks pretty dead on. So again, a really superb looking craft right here. And lastly, real quick, before we move to our summary, let's do a quick comparison. Here it is with the previous Enterprise F, and yeah, you can see it. You can kind of see the how it's a bit thinner here on this side. Well, it doesn't actually look as bad as I remember it, so maybe I was a bit exaggerating a bit too much. But you can kind of see what they changed, what they didn't. The impulse engines, of course, back here on the nacelle pylons in the previous F model, which I actually did very much dig that design as well. This one incorporates a bit more of the Sovereign class layout for the impulse engines. We're not going to get too deep into this Enterprise F because I have all three of them, and we're going to give each Enterprise F its due, even though one of them is just a recolor of this mold. And yeah, so we can see right here the differences. I mean, the swept back look versus the swept forwards look. And then, of course, the differences in the deflector, the more pronounced gold in the original model, and the lighter shade in the new ship going to the bottom. And again, more black here on the bottom of the hull. And you can see the Bassard collectors more clearly. The nacelles are a bit smaller on the previous F model. So there you have for comparison. So yeah, let's summarize. And there you have it for the Eaglemoss Star Trek Online Starships Collection Enterprise NCC-1701-F Refit, Yorktown Refit to be more precise. Not sure how canon it is. We'll find out soon. But yeah, no, just thought I'd do this ship because again, I know the next Picard, or what should be the final Picard season, but we'll see, is coming up. And we did see images of this ship in the teaser. Not sure if it's the Enterprise F or another Odyssey class ship, or if it's even called an Odyssey class ship in the series, but kind of just a precursor to what we'll see, even though it's not this exact ship, it's the predecessor. But yeah, overall, really superb model. And again, a favor of mine just because of the use of color. I really love the color usage on this, especially for such a small model on this size. Lots of nice detail packed in. Again, one of my favorite ships in the collection, just because of the color palette usage. And definitely, if you are a fan of all the ships with Star Trek, even the non-canon ones or the ones from the game, I do highly recommend picking this up. Now, once again, as previously stated, Eaglemoss is currently in a state where they are not making ships anymore for the meantime, and I don't know too much behind the rumors. I've seen a couple of people comment with what is possibly happening, and you know more than I, so I'm not going to state anything on YouTube because I don't want to make a fool of myself just in case I am wrong. But that being said, if you can get this ship for either wait for some company to pick up the brand and put the ship back into circulation, or if you can get the ship for a decent price. I believe the ship was about $30 to $40 when it came out, not expensive at all. I saw somebody charging like upwards of $150 for it, and I'm not sure I'd pay $150 for this ship. But if you like it that much, again, it is a good ship. I'm not going to say it's worth $150, but I am going to say it will make a very fine addition to your Star Trek collection, be it the Ships of the Line collection for the Enterprise, or just a currently non-canon ships collection. So that being said, I have been FC Finch. If you like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you feel there's anything I can do better, any comments, or just to chat about Star Trek, or to tell me you love me, please comment below. I do try to at least like or respond to all comments, so there is that. And having said that, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.